This is Panoho doing a deck profile again with
Averylr32.
Okay, go ahead.
One of the main reasons why I ran the deck that I ran today at Locals, which is Frog Monarch, because it's the best meta call right now. It has an amazing matchup against Mermels. It has just a good matchup against everything, even Evil Swarm. The really only real bad matchup is, I would say, Dino Rabbit, just because if they drop Macrocosmos on you, it really just screws up your whole deck. So anyways, I don't think I topped today just because, you know, it happens. I got stacked round 3, but it's all good. Anyways, let's go on to the monster lineup. Pretty staple. 3 Swap Frog, the whole engine of the deck, 1 Rodent Totem, 3 Treeborn. If you're not running 3 of these, then something is wrong with you because this card is so good. It is so amazing. Hand Traps, 3 Battle Fader, obvious. 1 Shrag. I did test 2, and 2 was like meh. Like, I mean, it was there when I needed it. Like, if you're sitting with a giant ass hand of 6 cards, this card's amazing. But if you're sitting with like 2 in your hand and like 3 other cards, it's just not as good as 1. I think 1 is just better. Then you got the Gores. It scores 3 Max C. The main body of this build is from the top 4 build. I tested both the top 16 and the top 4, and I always seem to open up Max C, which is amazing because especially against Mermels, if they want to go off and do shenanigans, you can just Max C them and they'll just
Which makes
salty.
sense.
Exactly, it makes perfect sense. I did test 2, and 2 was okay. I went back to 3, and I just feel most comfortable that way.
Quick question. Did you say you run 1 Rodent Totem?
Yeah, one.
Only
Rodent
one?
Totem.
Why only 1?
The problem is that your Frog lineup isn't as big as it was back in Frog Monarch format when like Frog FTK was around. Like back when Substitute was around, you could fill up almost half your deck with Frogs to where you could just go pitch a Treeborn, go for Swap Frog, and play the Substitute and just go boom, 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 boom. Like literally, I did that one time back in that format, and I was literally down to 20 cards in my deck just because I had that many Frogs. But on top of that, you also ran Duke Frog and what else is there? Like Poison Draw Frog. With this, you only run the 3 swaps and the 3 Treeborns, so you essentially only have 5 chances to use Rodent Totem without having to get rid of all of your Treeborns. So only being able to use Rodent Totem 5 times kind of sucks, and having 2, you can't banish a Rodent Totem for a Rodent Totem, so 1 suffices.
Okay.
I was using 2. I found 3 to be better, and that's Triple Averylr. A friend of mine was telling me that Averylr is such a better card than Max C. I think they're both kind of even. It just really depends on the situation. But this card is just, oh my god, I could say so much about Averylr. You can use this card as a Slacker Magician target with Treeborn. You can use this card as a Formula target with Treeborn. Hell, you could just use it to stop their Rescue Rabbit. Like just last round in round 5, I opened up double Averylr and he went Summon Rescue Rabbit, I went Averylr. Next turn he goes use the effect of Rabbit, I Averylr. Like, this card can just really slow down the opponent, especially against Dino Rabbit. And the more slower that you can make Dino Rabbit go, the better, because that gives you the chance to set up your combos, especially if they don't have the Macrocosmos. Moving on to your Tribute Fodder, Double Lad. Triple is very cloggy. I found double to be very good. You know, it's there when you need it, and it's Lad, like, it's just a boss of its own. Then we got Triple Caius. I love this card so much. I won a game today, actually a match, because it was game 2, just by banishing Caius for game. And so it's just a good card in general. It gets rid of stuff on the board. It 1-for-1s everything, and on top of that, it's a 2400 beat stick. And in case you guys can hear music in the background, I apologize. Triple Ryza, I've got like every single rarity of this thing, gold, super, ulti. It sucks to top deck this thing, I'll admit, just like the guy that top 4'd at Austin. But at the same time, even if you top deck this thing against, what do you call it, Mermel, like let's say they're sitting with a Megalo and Abyss Sphere in the back row, and you go sack off for Ryza and bounce back their Megalo. Yeah, they lose their Megalo and you can swing and they'll use the Abyss Sphere, but they're more than likely going to end up getting out in Abyssland, depending, but more than likely the Abyssland, you'll swing into it and then they'll get out something else, which will more than likely be the Abyss Lead. But on top of that, you really shouldn't mind bouncing back their Megalo. I mean, if anything, if you end up in that situation, just bounce back the Megalo, because that way they lose their 2400 favorite beat sticker. I want to play 2 of these. Like, I'm really debating it. Double Jinzo. This card is just a boss maniac. Like, he's like the freaking Terminator. He shuts down everything. Like,
with Jinzo, I personally run a Frog Monarch build also. I do side in the second one. My thing, if you want run the 2. It's actually more to me. I find it more consistent because all them traps that are out there right now, all
especially against Dino Rabbit and Fire Fist. This really shuts it down. I was even tempted to take out a Ryza to main deck a Vandy's Fiend, which I tried, but it was subpar in the main deck, even just one Vandy's Fiend. And I've been trying Double Jinzo. I don't know yet. There's a regional this upcoming weekend in Orlando, Florida. So I might use Double Jinzo. I really don't know yet. So I'm still debating that. That's it for the monster lineup. That's like God knows how many monsters, but this is a typical amount of monsters that you would run in Frog Monarch. Like, it seems like a huge ass ton, but it's standard for Frog Monarch.
Of course.
Spells, double duality. I wasn't using duality because like I said, I tested the top 4 in the top 16 build. Duality just proved to be so much of a consistency better maker card, if that makes sense. Like, this card can get you out of really bad situations. Like, if you're sitting with a really dead hand and no low levels, you can just go duality, hopefully get that Swap Frog, and just start playing out stuff to in order to make your hands not as cloggy. One MST, you side deck the other 2. You also use Heavy Storm. So I mean, there's really no need for more. You want to try and keep your spell count low. I'm not using Treacherous, but this proves to be fine. Like I said, you can just side deck in the other 2. Pretty standard. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, staple really. No, not much to explain.
Someone could get a game.
Forge Barrel. It's just there for Treeborn. Like, I never found myself not wanting a Foolish. Like, I mean, if you rip it, yeah, I mean, you're gonna top deck it and it's gonna be dead. But overall, it helps dump your frogs. Triple Econ. I love this card so much. This is like my baby. This card is so amazing with Treeborn. Just being able to go Econ, Tribute, take, Econ, Tribute, take. Especially if you open up 2 of these and they got like 2 monsters on board. You can just go Econ, Econ, have 3 monsters on board, sack off both of them for Lad. And then, of course, the Soul Exchange. Oh my god, this card has saved me in so many situations.
The main key of this deck.
Oh my god. If you call spells against this deck with Eradicator, we will cry, because once you take out our Soul Exchanges, like, we have to slow play with our Monarchs and just keep on using Treeborn to recycle through our Monarchs effects. And it just makes it more difficult to get off our combos.
So, are you not running Treacherous because you don't have one, or?
I do have one. I side deck it. I tested it. It's just a little bit like, it's there when you need it, but it's also there when you don't need it. But at the same time, it's just it seems to be better in the side deck. It's really player preference, in my opinion.
Have you thought of running the Egyptian God build?
Back in the day, the Egyptian God build was good. You know, you could run one of each Egyptian God now that we have all 3. It really depends on how you want to play the deck. The deck really can't be so, like, it's hard to explain. Like they can't move as fast as other decks can. So it's more like, you know, it's all player.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Did I top? Oh shit. Okay. I'll be quick. Sorry guys, I didn't know I was going to top. I'll just make this quick. Dark Dust, I side decked it because I didn't know if I was going to need it or not. I'm still kind of testing. Double Crow for Dark World. Vandy's Fiend, this card's amazing. This is a boss. I love this setup. Triple Messenger and Double Lava. It's so good, especially against Dino Rabbit. Soul Taker for Heroes. Burial for those macro decks. I don't know. It's subpar in my opinion. Double MST, the other 2, and then the Treacherous.
Of course.
Extra deck. Gusto Phoenix, Double Gachi, Double Slacker, so good. Exa Beetle, it gets you out of those situations. Double Bouncer, because Swordbreaker, in my opinion, is just a bad card. I don't really like it. It's like another Catastor when you already run Catastor. Gaia Dragon, because you've got all the level 6s. Formula, obvious. Effect Veiler plus Treeborn. Catastor, Gaia Knight, Black Rose, Thought Ruler. This saved me a game in time. I went into this, I swung into the guy's Dark Magician, he was using Spellbooks Dark Magician. I gained 25, he took 200, I was sitting at 86 with 78, and I won next turn. And Scrap Dragon.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, and good luck. Hopefully you fully go all the way tonight.
Thank you.